I will do a little explaining as to why there's no support for my research case. When I was a teenager entering college, I was characterized variously in Pittsburgh intellectual circuits where Nietzsche was the rage as a naive idealist or a naive fantasist. This isn't made up. One of them, Adam Eisenstadt, who went on to be a ghostwriter for Donald Trump, put in the Pitt News editorial page somebody should give Jim Carrey a 200-pound love beat so he stops writing his soft-hated, anachronistic fodder. I think everybody realizes from my performance when I finally managed to learn sign language that had I not been attacked in the brain, attacked, brutally pummeled as a child, and left deaf and confused as to my bearings, I would have been a contestant for valedictorian at Taylor Alderdice and an outstanding Ivy League teacher. One of the rivals involved in terrible organized crime that befell me, a trafficking offense by the state of Pennsylvania authorities that continues to this very minute. Thaws, magna cum thaws of Harvard, tipped me off that their thinking was about the Tsarina's son, who was a consumptive. Everybody, he said, and the peasants were contemptuous of the weakling. So they did their best with their media science to set up their war game, the program, and have me writhing with the way that they lied to and about me, leaving me guessing about a lot of things that were going on, and in terrible pain from a neurological injury that has just aided into basically a cold-blooded murder case. And they never stopped laughing at me. One of the reasons why there's no support for what I have researched and uncovered is because how openly it was orchestrated. Politicians peekaboo, do things occasionally with the pages, pay hush money, and are wary of picadillos because it could cost them their office. A good example of this was one that was part of the play that they put on. Gary Hart was an intellectual. He made a point of answering questions in essay format until he became noted and became a hot dog in the front running for the president. Then he switched to sound bites. And behold, he was caught with someone named Donna Rice. What is rice? Rice is what you feed the overpopulated poor. Aha! Codified superintelligence from the media scientists. So the idea of putting aside the military gravy train logic of overpopulation, they ask, why is Gaza a city of children? Because they're breeding like jackrabbits, called Dr. Terry, and impinge in the Coney Island of his mind, a memory bank that we can extrude through satire and misrepresent through the Office of Natural Language at Harvey Campanella, working with Yoko Ono and the Neva Corporation through a network tying back to Israel's Jennifer Rubin in Highland Park in Pittsburgh, where they gassed me in King's Estate and then did a second Holocaust special education on Mount Desert Island, clocked to gay ill. Christmas caroling and bombs bursting because they're saving me scientifically from the line of Hades. They wanted to show me through the burnt hand what they were protecting me from. Pope Karl in the Russian Orthodox Church, don't want to have to burn away your sins, Crary. Two Virgins Pussy Ball would bring Titanic brutalization of all and everything in the name of Gurdjieff redemption. World War III. And Peckham was picked for Peckham. Peckman was picked for Peckham because he's the Pally Peckham picked. Said Woody Allen. If you look at the beginning of Serpico, it says D.D. Allen. Woody Allen, everything you wanted to know about Dee, but we're afraid to ask, Super 12. It's all loud and clear what they've pulled. And they planned it. So there's no support for my investigation, you see. You can't put aside the moral of no having affairs, even when you're being attacked with a foreign genocide. Now let's talk about our society's general disposition and inclination. We overspent on military. We've been planning for World War III, not for peace on earth. And this is a mistake. I mean, I agree with Greta Thunberg. I agree with the climate change activists, with the people protesting the horrific crime in Gaza, that we should be planning for peace on earth. We should be adopting the Belts and Roads Project of China. We should be reasonably negotiating with Russia. We should be mending fences with the so-called enemies of the world, the people who we have been trained and illicitly conditioned to despise, so that our military system can continue to balance the budgets on the backs of the working poor in preparation for World War III rather than preparation for peace on earth. Sustainable development goals has to do with understanding opportunities that are arising for distribution of health and welfare. Instead, they bombed the entire hospital system of the poorest people alive. That's insanity. It has nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever. It may have something to do with psychotic biblicism from Hollywood. It might have something to do with that. With the riflemen lined up to crusade for thou shalt not dare to question the book of Revelations as a justification for raping the Department of the Interior.